Hello, welcome everybody to our webinar today. Can everybody see my screen, please? Thank you. So welcome back to our webinar today, The Only Woman in the Room Syndrome, Isolations and Strategies for Thriving in the Field of STEM. What do I do? Notice there are more men than women working in most fields in STEM, like the fields of science and engineering. According to statistics, there are 40% more men than women. Now, this makes a lot of women in this field to feel isolated. So this webinar is hosted to address these issues of feeling like the only woman in the room in male-dominated fields. We are going straight to the agenda of today. Our webinar will take this part. So we'll start with the introduction, after which we'll have the speaker session. Then we'll have a 10 minutes for interactive Q&A sections, and we'll now go with our closing remarks. So welcome, my name is Augustine Chinonso, and I'm a volunteer at Nexo Girls, and I'm also currently the content creation team lead. So we'll start off by talking about our housekeeping rules. So feel free to share your questions in the chat, which will be addressed during our Q&A segment. And this session is going to be recorded for promotional and educational purposes. So by joining this webinar, you are consenting to being visible in the recording. Then if you experience any interaction during the webinar, try refreshing your browser or you check your internet connection. Then make sure to switch to full screen mode if you are joining with your mobile phone for better experiences with the slides, so you'll be able to see the slides. So question is, have you heard about Nexo Girls? So what about Nexo Girls? Nexo Girls we are talking about that power this program. Who are they? What do they do? Well, Nexo Girls is a youth-led initiative under the Nimaradi Robust Foundation, and it's a registered non-profit organization in Nigeria that promotes young women participation in the field of STEAM, that's science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, by equipping them with globally in-demand skills to bridge the gender gap and alleviate poverty, and also challenge harmful stereotypes. Within our 3 years of operation, we have impacted over 57,000 plus youth across Africa, and we have been active. We have had an active presence in Rwanda and also in Kenya. So now we are going to go straight to our webinar today, and we'll be introducing our speaker. So our speaker is Shoma Anobi, and she's an agricultural and bioresources engineering graduate from the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. She is an SEO content writer for tech brands with 2 years experience. She also works as a tech SEO specialist, using optimized technical strategies to support business growth. As a woman in STEAM, she has also learned to thrive in environments where she could often be the only woman in the room, focusing on performance and results. So this is why we want to learn how she has been able to thrive in these environments over the years, so we can pick one or two from her to be able to also thrive in those environments ourselves. So I hope you are ready. If you are ready, please drop your comments in the chat and engage. Now we'll go over to our speaker sessions, and I'll be sharing the screen now. Ishama, we are ready for you. Can you hear me? Miss Choma? Miss Choma?
Hi, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry. The network is messing up a bit. Hi, good day, everyone. If you can hear me, please indicate and indicate with an emoji or one of those so I know we are together. Okay, can you hear me now? You can hear me, you can see me. It's not hanging from your end like you're with me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm keeping my fingers crossed and trusting Nigerian network. Okay, hi everybody. Good day. I'm not going to do much of an intro. Luna has already done it, so we're just going to dive right in at strategies for thriving in STEAM as a woman, the only woman in the room syndrome. So, if you're in science, tech, engineering, arts, mathematics, you're bound to have experienced this syndrome one way or the other, knowingly or unknowingly. Can you still hear me? I will pause.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, as we wait for her to come back, please, others that just joined, introduce yourself in the chat and tell us more about yourself. Are you a female? What do you do? Are you in science, tech, engineering? And where are you joining from? I would like to know. Please engage in the chat. And if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat too to be addressed during the Q&A section.
Sorry, can you still hear me? Not too sure.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm really so sorry about that. I think network peak the wrong day to just be messy, really messy. Can you see me too? Wait,
Yes, yes.
okay. So, so I'm just going to go on understanding the challenges of being the only woman in the room. One of it is microaggression. I hear that a lot. Like I hear that a lot. Like when you want to start talking, it's more like you're too emotional. Women self, you are too dramatic. All those kind of comments. I've legit been asked, "Are you sure you're the engineer?" That was like in 500 level, and we all walked into the workshop for our final year practicals and everything. I don't know, like maybe because the crowd was filled with boys and stuff like that. It's more like, "Are you an engineer?" And I'm like, you can call guys engineer or stuff like that. Why won't you address me the same way? I mean, I'm wearing the same lab coat they're wearing and everything. Or they'll ask you, "Are you sure you can handle this?" And use it as a joke. Maybe they didn't mean to be mean, but it's getting to you. Whenever they want to handle machines, they obviously put the guys in front and tell you ladies to move one side and things like that. Moving on, we have the emotional fallout. We have the emotional fallout, like you being a lady means the emotions, you feel it, the emotions get to you. So you start actually questioning your place, which I did that a lot. I started wondering if this engineering thing, if it's for me or I should find something else to do. I, of course, felt underestimated. Like when you're in such a space, when people don't know if what they are saying is getting to you, they just dish it out there. You start feeling like, should I have been somewhere else? Am I sure I can do this arts practice? Am I sure I can be this mathematician? Am I sure you start questioning everything and you start over explaining yourself. I've been in that situation just for my voice to be heard, just so I'll be taken seriously. I started talking too much, and at that point, you justify what they say about you're too emotional, you're too dramatic, you're a woman. Then we have the mental cycle. You stress yourself just to feel like you deserve the seat you already earned. Like knowingly or unknowingly, you see yourself, you begin to do too much. A presentation you all have, you're not the only one in that group, but you see yourself practicing, practicing, practicing just so you can give in your all. You start feeling pressured, like you feel so tense, you feel so weighed down. Constantly, you're trying to prove your worth. This is a room where someone else might be there, probably know your gender, but they just keep going. But because it's you, because you're a woman, because you're feeling like you need to explain yourself, you see yourself doing too much. These are like the daily challenges that women in STEAM feel. Like I said, I had my share of the experience before I started finding my foot, figuring my way to just be there. And I just want to let you know before I share my experience that being the only woman in the room, it's a spotlight. So you learn, you grow, you own your space. Mind you, when the word the only woman in the room comes in, it doesn't necessarily mean you're the only lady there. We're just saying you could, in a team of 20, you could see like three, four, five women. That's like low compared to the guys you will meet. So at some point, you're bound to feel intimidated, like you don't belong there. So from my university days, especially when we got to final year and things got serious, I mean, you had to write all the exam, do all the practical, do all the everything, do the defense. It was not easy. It was like when a constant race, when a constant battle to see who could do it more. Sometimes you bring in ideas and someone from somewhere has to shut you up because they feel like you don't have the manpower, or rather, they turned it to a joke, woman power to do that thing and all of that. But I just took a deep breath at that junction and like, this is my journey, right? This is my story. And I'm the major person in it and I'm writing it, which you should always tell yourself to that this STEAM course I'm taking or this part I'm entering, data engineering, programming, machine learning, whatever it is, that this is my journey, this is my path, and I'm the major player and I'm the spotlight. So you don't let someone rob you off. When people are all there raising shoulder, trying to do manpower, hashtag woman power, you come out with your intelligence, you come out with your focus, you come out with your dedication, you come out with your zeal. And that was practically what I did. Why people thought of outsourcing because they feel like they already had an edge, maybe as a guy or something, actually got into the work, like doing the practicals, putting myself out there, trying my best, and the defense day, speaking up for myself, like being audible, even though I was tensed and scared. I tried to shake it off. and just do my thing. I told myself this is not a competition. I'm not in competition with any guy or anybody in this room. I'm just here to show that I did the work. I'm capable of doing this work. And so I put myself out there, I presented it, and lo and behold, I didn't even see it coming. But a senior lecturer reached out to me and was like, okay, my work was interesting. It wasn't just interesting, it was actually the presentation because as a team, we had similar work. So, what was so special about mine? It was literally bringing out the mindset that you're going out here to deliver. So, do your best and don't let anything hold you back. And we got on collaborating with my project, and that was how it was published, which was like a surreal moment for me because going into that defense room, I didn't actually have the idea that okay, my work could be spotlighted and it could be published. But it happened because I put in the work and I did not shrink even when I heard comments and things like that. So now strategies for thriving, which is why we are in this webinar today. So if you can hear me, just indicate. I just want to know I'm not talking to myself. Indicate if you can hear me. I just want to be sure I'm not talking to myself. Okay, Luna can hear me. Who else can hear me? You could just type in the chat box or use an emoji if you can hear me. So I know I'm not just yapping and running. So can I go on? Can
Can
I
go
go
on.
on? I can go on.
Yes.
Okay. So strategies for thriving if you're in woman in STEAM or if you find yourself in that field or if you're going into that field. So you know how to cope, like you find your path and you succeed in it. Now, growth as a woman in STEAM is built on strategy, support, and self-belief. That's just facts. Like whatever you're doing, you should have a plan. You don't just go in and start doing left, right, zaga, zaga, zaga. When people are just going all zigzag, you're focused, you have a plan. So the first step to thrive when you find yourself in a space whereby it's dominated by men, you build your support network. We are human beings and we are bound to get emotional. Forget that they try to use the word that girls, you're so dramatic or you're so emotional. Even guys have emotion. It's just that they are good at hiding it more than us. They might scream in closed doors when you're not there. But maybe a woman, before you hold your emotions, you see the tears dropping. But that's nature. That's how we are built. Looking past that, you build your support network. Mentorship, very important. It's valuable, it's helpful. You reach if you see like mentorship applications that are open in the field where you're in, don't hesitate to apply. You can never know what comes out of it. I applied for mentorship at a community for BIPOP writers and all, and I got paired with a really amazing person, and I didn't see the long term friendship coming. That till tomorrow, if I have something bothering me, I can always run to the mentor, someone that has gone ahead of me in that field, that can support me, that can encourage me and can edge me. Okay, you might not always choose the room where you work, right? You might not choose the work people you meet, your colleagues. You just get into an organization and you start discovering people. Those that have pride, those that feel like you should keep quiet, those that feel like you're too small to handle this thing or you're too inexperienced. You might not be able to choose your colleagues, but you can at least choose your network, your circle, those people you can run to when you're feeling down or when someone gives you one of those shades of you're the only woman in the room or things like that. Sponsors, like these people advocate behind the scene for you. People you can always reach out to for support, maybe when you're planning your little project or you're planning your little something, keep them around. Then your peers, very important. I actually value my peers too. They might not necessarily be in steam with you or something, but friendship, very important. When you're feeling down, when you're feeling low, there's someone you can talk to. That's therapy on its own. So you're not bearing all the burdens by yourself. Like you're not keeping everything to yourself. You have friends that you guys can just talk it out, just scream it out and laugh. Help you calm down. You might not know that these things are important, but it goes a long way when there's always someone to share. Then navigate your workspace. Like I said, now there is something about speaking up. Speaking up does not mean you're shouting and screaming. I don't actually fancy screaming and shouting as a means of communication. There's always a way to address someone that the person will actually feel embarrassed if at a point they try to put you under the bus because you're a woman. You don't have to scream. When you scream, you really justify the fact that, oh, women are emotional and they are dramatic. But you learn how to communicate your feelings. If the person is your superior, your colleague, you just walk up to them and you actually communicate. Like you speak up for yourself. You don't have to scream. You don't have to insult somebody. You just put your points out there and you take credit for your work. Most times people fall into the trap of wanting to be seen as a good person. Some people in Nigeria formally call it Oyoma CY. Like you want to present yourself as a good person, that you end up hiding your own work. Okay, you end up downplaying yourself just so someone will not see you like you're doing too much. No, if you actually did that thing, you put yourself out there, you talk about it, self advocacy. You document your impact, especially on LinkedIn or whatever platform you're building. If you don't say it, how will people know you did this? Okay, there's a lady in content writing. She's actually in the content marketing space. She came up with Lima framework. We call her Lily Ubaja. Like she spoke of herself, like she shared this framework, she used it, and people know it was hers. That when you hear Lily in my SEO space, you know she's the one with Lima framework. That's just it. You don't have to go to war with anybody. If you did something, you came up with an innovation, speak about it, share it on social media, let people know this is your work before someone else will take your glory. Because they said if you have an idea or you even did something and you don't associate yourself with it, to give yourself thought leadership in that thing, and tomorrow someone comes up and talks about it and they become known with that thing, it's not yours anymore. You had the idea, you had the opportunity, but you didn't speak up and you didn't share it. Then set clear boundaries. Saying no is not rude. Like, just know how to say it. Don't overwork yourself in a space just because you want to prove your worth. If something is too much for you, if you need to take a break, if you need to pause, if you need time to research and work on something like personal that you need to up your game in your field, then do it. It's okay to say no. It's not all the time you say yes to people and you'll be helping them do their work. Why they keep taking glory in that space? You keep going down, your name is going down, no achievement of your own because you just want to please people. Can you do this? Yes. Can you do that? Yes. You're not saying no to anything. You're not having personal time to work on your own project, on your own self. So learn how to say no, set your boundaries, and avoid emotional, like, blackmailing. People know how to do that a lot. Don't let them use, if you want to prove yourself, if you want to show that you can do this, then do this. Don't let them get to your emotions. Set your boundaries. This is where your work ends. This is where your personal life starts. Don't let people come into your space too much just because you want to prove yourself. I mean, they are there and they don't have to roll on the floor. Why should you be the one rolling on the floor, jumping to the sky just to prove your worth when you can do that thing? So moving on, we have institutional solutions. Now, speaking up for yourself is good, but you have to also speak up for the woman coming behind you. So when you find yourself in a space, in a management role, and you're like, I've arrived, woman in STEAM, woman in science, mathematics, tech, whatever, let me show the world that I have come. That's okay. We appreciate your journey that you've gotten there. But don't forget that there's a woman behind you that is also trying to climb the space. And if you say you want to support women, hashtag women supporting women, then when you're speaking in rooms, if you've gotten to management rooms, then you also speak up for the woman coming behind you. How can you do that in your organization? Like employee resource groups, like unbiased trainings. So certain trainings should not be 10 men, one woman. If there are more women in that organization and you're in that space, then include them so that they can get this knowledge. Mind you, a woman might not be able to deliver properly in a space if she doesn't necessarily have the knowledge, exposure, and experience. So for us to climb, we need the experience, we need the exposure, right? So if you see yourself in a room, then advocate for women. Let them join the training, let them join the practical. I come to understand that this word gender equality does not mean a man and a woman dragging for a space, right? If a woman can do something, you give her the leverage to try. That's it. Don't downplay your fellow woman. Don't downplay your fellow woman. If you can speak up for her, then speak up for her. Don't be like, she look like a jebo. No, you give that person a chance. So if you're a HR or you find yourself in that position or assisting the HR, then you should have inclusive hiring and promotion too. Don't Another thing is a woman coming at another woman. Don't feel attacked when another woman is coming to meet you in that position. Then you be like, this one in this hiring process, lie. I'm the only one that will get here, so you shift back. No. While you're in that institution, also be a solution to the next woman coming. Then moving on, we have practice self-care and resilience. This one is like very important. You see us chasing the bag, chasing the road, chasing the lifestyle, and we forget that we are not robots, we are humans. We want nature to remind you to pause. It wouldn't be nice if nature have to remind you. Maybe you're standing, giving a presentation or something, then you stop. For you to thrive, you must refuel yourself. If you get negative query or someone try to talk you down, you're too emotional. Are you sure you're even a mathematician? Are you sure you can do this machine learning? Are you sure you're good at this data engineering thing? This work is for men, or they try to put in work like that. If you genuinely know it got to you, one way is you journal through your thoughts. Don't let them cloud up in your head that you start mixing things. Journaling is really a good way to let things flow, especially if you like writing. You can go ahead and just journal it down. If you don't like writing, therapy is okay. Now, there's this misconception people have that therapy is for mad people. It's when you are mad that you go to therapy. Ha, that one shocked me. Oh. You do realize that talking to a friend, talking to a sister, a brother, someone that gets you is therapy because they understand where you're in. You're sharing your burdens. Like you feel relieved when you're done talking to somebody. That's therapy. Is you are not mad at that point you're just low and you need someone to pour in a little bit of energy into you. So go on and talk to somebody. Don't keep it all to yourself. If you feel like someone try to put you under the bus, you share it with somebody. And then there's faith-based community. If you're a religious person, then you have a faith-based community. Some people feel really inspired and alive when it comes in with their faiths, when there's somebody there to maybe pray with you, fast with you, something like that. If that's what works for you, then it's okay. Don't be shy to go on and meet a spiritual director or something that work is getting into you, or this career path you're choosing, you don't even know if it's for you because someone said this or this happened. Let them guide you, let them be your spiritual support if you're like a very religious person. Then schedule breaks. You see yourself January to December, you've not even done one fun thing because somewhere you're over pushing yourself and you're trying to prove yourself and you're trying to prove your word that I can be this data engineer, I can be in this room, I can do this, I can do that. And you see yourself losing out on every other thing in life because you're just chasing things. That's why I said mark your boundaries. In spaces where you know that this person is trying to overwork you, or trying to make you feel guilty, you say no and you take breaks. You take break to take a walk, go on that vacation, go on that solo date, sip coffee, just listen to calm music, relax your nerve, get off from work and from life and from fighting whatever battles you're fighting and just relax. Then when you're recharged, you can come back in. And it's always better when you come back with full energy from your break, than saying I deserve to rest, yes, without feeling guilty. It happens. You take a long break and you feel guilty. You feel like the world has left you. You feel like everybody has stopped you. No, you're not behind. You need that break. You need that rest, and you need to recharge so that you can go back to that space and tell them that you are a woman in this space doesn't make you a lesser figure. You know your stuff, you're intelligent, you're bold, you're brave, and you can do this like you always have. So just keep believing yourself. That's another thing. Believe in yourself. If you get into a space, you have the idea that you can do this and you start the journey, don't stop halfway. Don't at some point feel if you must even stop, let it be a personal decision, something else, not someone putting the thought in your head that you can't do this because it's majorly for men, it's majorly for this, it's majorly for that. You just go in there, you're not at war with people. you make friendship, but you do your thing and you seal your zone to tell them that I can do this. I'm a woman in STEAM, I'm not a weaker figure. So thank you so much for listening to me at this point. If there's questions, let's hear it.
Thank you, Chum, for interesting talk. I really enjoyed it. Please, if you have questions, drop it in the chat so that we can address it. So while we wait for questions, I would also like to ask my own question. Hope you can hear me.
Sorry, yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, I said I would like to ask my own question while you wait for other questions.
Sure.
So when you talked about the institutional changes, I'm interested in knowing what work policies or workplace changes that have you seen over the years that you think have effectively reduced the isolation of women in the field of STEM?
Sorry, what did you say?
I said, under the institutional changes over the years, what policies have you seen that have effectively reduced isolation of women in the field of STEM?
Actually, the biggest one, I think the most common one that we can all relate to is gender like equality in organizations. And then organizations like Nestle Girls bringing women voice out. So giving women more opportunities. That's like one I've noticed, and including women more in activities from basically different organizations and different ventures. And I think all of these movements to bring women into the space, like She Code Africa, those organizations has really helped. And all this outreach has really helped the girls' voice. So yes, this is like the most common policy I've seen, that a lot of organizations are moving with, gender equality, like a girl voice matters, and it's been interesting.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Sorry for the network issue. Did you get my question?
Yes, I did. Can you hear me now? Can you see
Yes, I
me?
can. I can see you.
I said the common one and the general one
Yes, I
is
can
gender
hear you.
equality. Yes, that a lot of organizations have taken on to. And Nezoges being here is one of it. Like bringing a platform for women voice to be heard. She Code Africa, organizations like this that give it like opportunity to women to learn tech skills, especially programming, coding. Funny how starting up in tech, I thought programming, coding were like men things until I saw She Code Africa and all of that, bringing women into this space. So that movement has really, those policies, that those all these organizations coming together has really helped like bring women into the tech space, into the STEAM space, giving them a fair platform to learn. If you want to learn, you like this thing, then go ahead and learn. Nothing like this for men, this for women. If you can code, then why not? So it's been interesting seeing all these gender equality movements and all of that, organizations and platforms that keep like pushing women, encouraging them to go out there and do what they think they can do.
Thank you for answering the question. So it seems that um, there is no question. Nobody has questions. So, is there any other things that you would like to share with us? Any other strategies or things we can implement, or even organizations that we can join?
Okay, one thing I would like to say is to the ladies, the women here, and you can also take to your friend. Don't always sit down and wait for, will I use the word opportunity, or someone to come knock at your door, right? I see most girls doing that. You know, uh, most of the spaces you see guys in, even in all this tech space, even as simple as like content writing also. I saw a report and men were still more in this content writing and stuffs like that. You don't sit down and just wait for opportunities to come knock at your door or validate the words that men are dominant in every space. No one is asking you to go to war. But they said help come to those who help themselves, right? You go out there are a lot of communities out there, the ones that are in your niche. And most times, if I'm to give communities, I'll give the ones that are in my niche because those are the communities I'm after so that I can keep upskilling and growing. Make use of LinkedIn, of internet, of social media very well. These communities are spread out. They are like everywhere. If you come down to search, you're going to see. So don't sit down all the time waiting for a messiah to come to you. When you see webinars, when you see events, even physical events, join in and call a friend. Like I said in the slide, when you advocate for yourself, also remember to advocate for the woman coming behind you. So when you see these communities, don't forget to share with a friend. When you're going for an event, don't forget to call a friend, you know. So while you're growing, your friend is growing. It should not be fair if you're just way up there and you're staring down at your friend when you know you could have dragged them along. So go out there, put yourself out there, look for these opportunities, and don't forget to call a friend. You might just be helping distill, these whole girls are behind thing and helping bring women up into the space. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. I would personally like to implement that. So as a content writer, I would want to join more communities. So I think I'll personally chat you up on that. I'll take you up on it. I'm free, right?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for your time and thank you for joining us today and sharing.
Thank,
Um,
thank you for having me. So sorry
yeah.
about the network and everything.
I'm also going to thank the people that joined today. I thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. I thank you for joining. In our flyer, we also announced a free gift. So I'm going to tell you how it's going to be done. After this program, there is going to be another form that will be sent out to those that are registered. So I would like you to fill out that form so that you can be able to participate in getting that free gift. So follow Nexo Girls, as you can see. I hope you all are seeing my screen. If you can see, please can you react? Thank you. So you can follow our social media page as Nexo Girls on YouTube. For other purposes, if you want to rewatch, you can go to it will be available for rewatching anytime you want. If you have other questions too, you can also drop it if you want to rewatch. You can also share it to your friends. You can follow us on our Facebook account, our LinkedIn, and our X. Follow us at Nasal Girls for our future programs. So I would also like us to do a little thing. I hope you don't mind. Um, can we share start our videos, please? Those in the call. I want us to do our next Girl pose before we end this program. Please, can we start our videos? Okay, Miss Sharma, please, can you start your video? Let's do it.
I was a bit skeptical because I don't know the pros.
Okay. So is no, is this is a hard sign. So Yeah. So on the count of three, let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. So thank you all for joining.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.